Well. It's Friday night, baby, and I have stumbled upon a cup of tea, hon, and it's a good cup of tea. So if you want to sit with me, and we'll get to it expeditiously. Firstly, I'm going to read you the tea, and then we'll talk about it. Because, baby, you're not going to believe this. Now, you do know, keep in mind, the narrative that they're trying to say is why they're doing all these mass deportations today. That narrative. What is that narrative? Oh, yes. Gangsters, violent, dangerous MS 13 gangsters are roaming our cities, and we have to get them out of here expeditiously. We need to capture them and hold their feet to the heat, baby. That's the narrative they tell you and me. Now, we know that's not true because we watch them go into schools. We watch them go into foster homes. We watch them go into immigration court and hem up people who are actually doing it legally. But either way, they tell their base every single day that there are violent MS 13 criminals and gang leaders running our streets, and we need to hold their feet to the fucking heat. So why, oh why? It's time to take to the article, baby. Donald Trump's administration is attempting to dismiss criminal charges against a top MS 13 leader in order to deport him to El Salvador, crime-free. According to new unsealed court records, igniting accusations from critics and the defendant's legal team that the U.S. president is trying to do a favor for his Salvadorian counterpart who struck a deal with the gang in 2019. According to Justice Department records, the MS-13 figure in question is Vladimir Antonio Arvelo Chavez, and he has intimate knowledge of that secretive pact which, before eventually falling apart, involved the Salvadorian president Bukele's government ceding money and territory to the gang, who, in return, promised to reduce violence from its side and provide Bukele's party with electoral support. So basically, Bukele used government money and government territory and gave it to MS-13 in El Salvador for their support to help him with his election. And now, one of those top MS-13 leaders is in the United States facing criminal charges for crimes he committed here. But as a favor, the orange guy is trying to dismiss Mr. Chavez's charges so he can move freely all across the US of A and El Salvador today, just back and forth whenever he wants to, because he's a friend of Bukele. So not only did Daddy Dumpy Pants give those 17 cartel family members a free pass into the US of A under the guise that they were providing some type of intel to Daddy, and by the way, they just so happen to be El Chapo's family, so what intel could they have possibly provided Daddy? I mean, if you look into El Chapo and his family and what's left of his little cartel, you would learn real quick there's not a whole lot of intel to tell there. They were pretty much shut off and shut down some time ago. But either way, they got a free pass into the US of A. And when you think about the Tate brothers too, you know, those two guys who were up on trafficking charges all across the UK, he let them come here for sanctuary, dear. And when we think about Qatar and how he went over there, and reports say that he was handing out some of them $5 million gold cards that would allow them to come into our country as full citizens and erect businesses. Yes, we don't know who they are or what they're into. But either way, I guess it's okay if you're a top MS-13 gang member, as long as you're friends with Bukele, who's friends with Daddy. Baby, the corruption is erupting. Now I gotta go over here to the streets of Twatter and spread this bit of tea for all of the fucking red hats to see. 'Cause once again, Daddy and his entire administration is playing in their face. And they're just too dull to see. But you and me, we clocked that fucking tea, didn't we?